Everyone dreams of feeling truly successful. And for high achieving women, this typically comes in the form of wanting the next promotion, the bigger house, or finally launching that business they've been thinking about. Achieving this feeling, however, is going to require more than just working harder or earning more. And while this may seem overwhelming, the process can actually be simplified. But before we start racing off to the next goal, I need to bring up a mistake I made and seen made with thousands of successful women. When you come from a place where success never feels like enough, or simply put, where you're trapped in the never enough cycle, your North Star becomes this endless chase for external validation. What you don't realize yet is that when you operate from this position, you're reacting to old programming about what's acceptable or safe to have. But here's what most people get wrong about feeling successful. They think it's all about the external stuff. The real work? It starts with redefining success with your nervous system in mind. Because here's what I've realized. We hear about success constantly, but what really is it? It's not just about accumulating achievements. It's about having the internal capacity to actually receive and enjoy what you've already created. It's like building a house that looks beautiful from the street, perfect landscaping, impressive facade. But when you step inside, it's cold and concrete. No warmth, no comfort, just hard surfaces that echo every step. So the real question becomes, does success mean hitting that next revenue goal? Or does it really mean not panicking when you take a day off? Does success mean the bigger title? Or does it really mean feeling proud of your work instead of constantly wondering if you're doing enough? What would the inside of that house need to have for you to actually want to live in it? Cozy spaces where you can rest? Warmth that makes you feel safe? You're the only one who can define what success truly means to you. And now you're ready for the next piece, because understanding what success means is just step one. So let's break down why you can't feel successful in the first place. Because there's always a very specific reason. When you're thinking about your resistance to success, you can approach it in one of two ways. You're either moving towards achievements or running away from failure. It's like the difference between driving towards a destination you're excited to reach versus speeding away from a house fire behind you. Same car, same road, completely different energy. When you're moving towards success, you have a vision in mind. You see it positively. When you're running away from failure, you're driven by avoiding something. Maybe repeating your family's financial limitations or proving you're not going to live with that's good enough because it's cheap. Here's what I've learned. Most high-achieving women are carrying multiple layers of this programming. For me, it started with my dad calling a restaurant barely adequate. But we'd still go there because it was cheap and all you could eat. The message was clear. We work hard, we hold tight, and we settle for less if it saves money. Then later, my own financial disaster created a whole different layer. The fear that everything I'd built could disappear overnight. The question isn't whether you have success trauma, you do. The question is, what specific moments created your achievement paradigm? Because this isn't generic limiting beliefs work. This is identifying the exact moments your nervous system decided what was safe versus dangerous about money and success. And speaking of trauma patterns, here's where most success coaching gets it completely wrong and why you keep spinning your wheels. There were 3 specific realizations that changed everything for me. 1, I had to stop trying to fix my external circumstances and start healing the layers of financial programming that were underneath. It's like trying to fix a flickering light bulb by buying a brighter one, when the real problem is faulty wiring in the wall. I spent years thinking I needed to earn more to feel relaxed about money, while simultaneously feeling guilty about wanting nice things, frugal family programming. The problem wasn't my circumstances, it was the conflicting trauma patterns running underneath. 2, I had to get comfortable with the discomfort of actually wanting and having success. This meant learning to choose quality over cheap without hearing my dad's voice saying, that's a waste of money. And three, I had to work with both trauma patterns, not against them. Your nervous system might be programmed with multiple conflicting patterns. Understanding this isn't weakness, it's neurobiology. For you, this might look like finally addressing why you feel guilty spending money on yourself, why you can't enjoy your achievements without waiting for the other shoe to drop, or why you oscillate between two different money stories. The paradigm shift isn't about changing what you have. It's about changing how you relate to what you have. And here's where I completely disagree with traditional goal setting advice and why smart goals might actually be sabotaging you. We're told to set smart goals, but when you have success trauma, smart goals can actually trigger your nervous system. It's like trying to teach someone to swim by throwing them in the deep end. Technically, they might learn faster, but they're also more likely to panic and refuse to get back in the water. Instead, I use what I call safe goals, small enough that your nervous system doesn't panic, aligned with who you actually are, not who you think you should be, flexible enough to adapt when trauma responses come up, and emotionally sustainable, meaning you can handle the feelings of actually having them. So instead of, I want to make $300,000 this year, which might trigger financial trauma, try, I want to feel financially secure with what I currently make. Or I want to increase my income in a way that feels emotionally safe and comfortable. The goal isn't to think smaller, it's to heal the trauma so you can eventually think bigger without sabotaging yourself. Because when your nervous system feels safe with success, that's when real expansion becomes possible. But before you start setting these safe goals, we need to talk about something crucial. Something that will determine whether you actually achieve them or sabotage yourself at the last minute. Your goals are in place, you're working towards them, but you forgot something. Your nervous system is going to fight you every step of the way. What I mean is this. Every time you get close to a breakthrough, your trauma patterns will activate. You'll suddenly feel exhausted or pick a fight with your partner or decide the goal isn't worth it anyway. This isn't failure. This is your nervous system trying to keep you safe based on old programming. The solution isn't to push through harder. It's to recognize these patterns as information, not instructions. Your trauma response is not your truth. And that brings me to what I most want you to remember from everything we've covered today. Whether your programming comes from a frugal family that taught you to settle for adequate, a financial disaster that taught you success wasn't safe, or both, you don't need to stay trapped in these old paradigms. The trauma that created your success patterns isn't your fault, but healing it is your responsibility. Whether you're trying to feel permission to spend money without guilt, trust that success can last, or break free from that voice that says, don't get too comfortable, the answer isn't in changing your circumstances. It's in changing the paradigms that are running your life. And that work, that's medical grade coaching. That's trauma-informed success work that addresses the specific programming from your past. If you're ready to identify the exact financial trauma or goal trauma that created your achievement paradigm, not generic blocks, but the specific moment your nervous system learned success was dangerous, send me a message, drop a comment, because you deserve to feel as successful as you actually are without needing to earn more or blow up your life to get there.